Home and away spoilers. Cash makes a deal with the devil. Next week on Home and Away in the UK. Cash makes a deal with Nerida to keep Eden safe. Cash resorts to making a massive sacrifice next week in his attempt to protect ex-fiancée Eden. Cash is currently on bail, having been accused of attacking Eden's new boyfriend Tim, after he woke up next to Tim's apparently lifeless body with his hands covered in blood. Cash had followed Tim, Eden and the rest of her lyric bandmates to a remote island estate after Nerida, an ex-client of Tim's who had become infatuated with him, made a direct threat towards Eden. Despite Cash's insistence that Nerida must have been responsible for knocking out both himself and Tim, Detective Sergeant Mark Townsend only has Cash in his sights as prime suspect. Cash eventually had a flashback to that evening, confirming his suspicions that it was Nerida who attacked them both. But without a comatose Tim to back him up, it's of no use for Cash's defense. Attempting to help Cash, Abigail asked to meet with Nerida, hoping that she would somehow implicate herself. When Nerida asked if Abby would provide an alibi for her for that evening, Abby agreed before tipping off Rose. Rose agreed to Abby's suggestion that she could wear a wire and try to extract a confession out of Nerida, a plot which ultimately failed when Nerida subsequently clammed up in front of Abby. Next week, Eden remains by Tim's bedside whilst Bree runs some further tests, but there's still no change. Unbeknownst to Eden, however, Nerida has just arrived on the ward. As Nerida claims to be Tim's sister, an unsuspecting staff member points her in the direction of Tim's room. Seeing that Eden and Bree are in there, Nerida lurks nearby, waiting for her chance. Is she plotting to finish what she started? When Abby later arrives and persuades Eden to head down to the canteen with her, Nerida takes her chance and slips into Tim's room. However, Abby then doubles back, having forgotten her phone, and is shocked to find Nerida standing over Tim. Abby warns Nerida that she's not going to let her hurt Tim again. But Nerida scoffs, asking what she's going to do about it. Abby offers her the opportunity to find out, but Nerida instead backs down. Her facade now dropped, Nerida menacingly tells Abby that she and Eden need to watch their back, before storming out. The next morning, after asking if Bree can stay with Eden for a while in Tim's room, Abby rushes over to Cash's place to tell him that Nerida came to the hospital. All too aware of how dangerous Nerida is, Cash instructs Abby to return to the hospital, as he decides to risk everything by meeting with Nerida. Back at the hospital, Abby suggests that Eden try talking to Tim, after Bree confirms that it can often help, but Eden doesn't know what to say, knowing that she can hardly talk about their future together. Their last conversation before the attack had consisted of Eden admitting to Tim that she was still in love with Cash. Stepping outside, Eden is forced to admit to Abby that, as awful as it sounds, the only reason she's praying for Tim to wake up is to save Cash. Meanwhile, Nerida agrees to meet with Cash, where he proceeds to tell her that she was caught on CCTV arriving on the island. Nerida doesn't believe him, but Cash doubles down and tells her that he can make the evidence disappear on one condition. If Nerida promises to not go after Eden or Tim, then Cash will not fight the charges. He will plead guilty to the assault. As Nerida agrees to the deal, is Cash really going to sacrifice his freedom to ensure Eden and Tim's safety? Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.